Oh my goodness, everybody. I am so excited to be doing this particular Facebook Live today because I don't know these two. I mean, we just talked for the last 8 minutes, so I feel like we're best friends. But I'm looking at Christina Carreira and Anthony Ponomarenko. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we are looking at two-time world junior medalists, a silver and a bronze. We are looking at U.S. national pewter medalists. We are looking at ISU medalists. I mean, my goodness, you guys, in the last 3 years, your careers have really taken off. But what I want to do is I want to go back to the beginning. So, Anthony, I was reading a whole bunch of interviews about you, and we'll go into your mother being a terrifying coach in a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's start first. I mean, you come from a skating dynasty. Your parents have the full and complete box set of Olympic medals, silver, bronze, and gold. And yet they didn't want you at first to get on the ice. So let's talk about your backstory, and then we're going to move on to Christina.
So when I was about 5 years old, my parents were working at the rink, and one of the coaches was always saying, Anthony, why doesn't Anthony skate? And my parents really didn't want me to skate. They wanted me to be normal, but they brought me on the ice, and I was like a wind-up toy. The first day they put me on the ice, I was just skating, and I love speed, gaining speed, and it became a passion. So yeah, they didn't want me to skate at first.
Did you ever do single skating?
I did single skating until I was 12.
Uh-huh.
When I moved to Michigan, then I fully changed to ice dance.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, Christina, what about for you? Where's your start in ice dance?
So my mom was actually coaching at the rink, and she'd always bring me, and I was really happy there. So she just put me in learn to skate classes, and I loved it right away. I was not good, but I loved it right away, and I worked hard, and then I got better. Yeah.
You know, it's a funny thing about practice, right? Practice makes perfect. So they say. So can you guys tell me a little bit? First of all, let's talk about, there's a wonderful question that has come in. We're, of course, always talking with all of my guests about the COVID-19, the pandemic, and how it has affected you. You, like everybody else, you've got to have been off the ice for a long time. So this is a great question from Sarah G. What's it been like getting back on the ice training after such a long break? I mean, I've spoken to skaters who said that they haven't been off the ice this long since they were toddlers. So what was it like to get back on the ice? And how are you finding your training?
So it was kind of different for both of us because I broke my foot during quarantine.
Come on.
Yeah. I broke it while running. So I was in a boot for 6 weeks, and then I had to do a bunch of PT and stuff. And then once I got back on the ice, I had to take it super slow, which we both did because we didn't want to get injured. But me especially had to skate little amounts. Now I'm back to full training and everything's fine.
So I've got to ask you a question from a practical point of view. People who have broken limbs, sometimes they're, in this case, your foot. Mm-hmm. Your foot takes on a different shape potentially from having been in a boot for 6 weeks. Did you have to get new skates? Where are you at with all of that?
No, well, my leg got really skinny, but now it's back to normal. My foot didn't change shape at all. Like everything's fine. It wasn't that bad.
Did it feel strange getting back on the ice?
Oh yeah, we both couldn't skate.
The first week, it was something to get used to again.
I feel like I was a learn to skate student.
Do you know what? You're not the only ones. Everybody with whom I've spoken have all said the same thing, that it was a very strange sensation. I mean, the most amount of time they've taken off the ice is like maybe a couple of weeks, maybe. Mm-hmm. And often in that couple of weeks, they go and do shows. So they're not even really off the ice. So to try and get back. Now, what about unison? Trying to do stroking and those kinds of exercises together. I mean, ice dancers are notoriously close together. So you get out of that habit. Was that hard to regain?
I think because we have such an extended off season, we have the time to work on basics. Mm-hmm. So it's really great that we have this time, work on positions, everything like that. And in ice dance, basics is everything. So that's what we've been working on.
Yeah, but before getting back on the ice, Igor had us do a lot of off ice where we would just take the position and bend together, like practice our pushes off ice and like match our legs and everything. So I feel like when we got back on the ice, it was almost better than before because we like kind of forgot our bad habits and just got to work on new stuff.
Got you to work on good habits.
Yeah.
What an interesting idea as a coach. I want to know a little bit about going back to the beginning. I mean, you've been together in your partnership since 2014. And rumor has it that Anthony, your mom, actually was asking questions about Christina 2 years before that. You guys
were stalking each other.
You gotta love skating, right? But the cool thing was that you were both part-time students with Igor Spielband, who continues to coach you to this day. So I want you to take me back to that first tryout. Who wanted to do it? Did you both want to do it?
I think so.
Yeah, well, she was skating solo for a year.
Yeah, because my previous partner got injured and he moved back home. I stayed with Igor, and I didn't really break up with my partner until maybe December, and then I partnered up with him right after U.S. Nationals, so like January.
I came a week after U.S. Nationals, and we tried out right away. We tried out for 2 to 3 weeks, and we thought it was great. We wanted to skate with each other.
So what was it about your previous partnerships? Did you have exactly the same style, having had coaching from Igor when you got together, or were there adjustments that you had to make to each other in order to get that exquisite unison that you have now?
I think we're pretty different.
Really?
I was coached primarily by my mom, so Igor's technique was very new for me when I moved. Even though we did work with him for a couple weeks at a time, still like moving and changing technique was hard. So I think the first year was very difficult for us to get into unison. But then we worked on it, and
it was very different for me too, and I wasn't used to that type of coaching. Like it's just a different coaching style than what I had in Canada before.
The interesting part about all of this, of course, is that you guys have been able to create this amazing chemistry on the ice. What do you feel is the secret to your chemistry?
Okay, I think because we both lived here and we didn't have our families, our parents, or anyone really, so we didn't really have a choice but like to become that for the other. And like, I don't know.
I think our friendship is so strong that it translates onto the ice.
Yeah.
I always ask dancers and pair skaters, what is the top 3 qualities about each other? So Anthony, tell me about your partner. What are the best 3 things that she offers your partnership? And then Christina, because I'm a nice girl, I'm letting you go second. How about that?
Well, Christina's a very hard worker. She always there's something more to do in skating. If we train 4 hours, she'll be like, "Hey, let's stay another 30 minutes. Let's stay another hour. We need to continue working." So hardworking is definitely one of them. She's very dedicated. She wants to be on top of the podium, and I can see that every day. She comes in and so hardworking, so dedicated.
Okay, so that's 2. We're looking at hardworking and competitive. I need one more.
Come on.
Beautiful.
Okay. You know what? Good for you. That was a good save. Okay, Christina, 3 qualities about your partner that really add to your partnership.
Okay. He's very hardworking, extremely talented, and hold on. I have my 3. I don't know where the third one went. What did I say? Oh, he's always in a good mood, so it's very easy to work with.
You know what? That good mood certainly helps a lot. Do you guys have a way of resolving, when I say differences, I mean any kind of ideas where one thinks one thing and one thinks another? What are your strategies for figuring those out?
I think we're both very easygoing.
Yeah.
If someone has an idea, we'll try it, and then we'll try the other idea. Like there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, we usually like meet in the middle, but we don't argue about it. Like we just try both, and then whichever works best, then that's what we'll do.
When you're away from the rink, Do you guys just talk about skating all the time? Do you talk about sort of like, I mean, you're young people, you've got futures ahead of you. Do you talk about sort of just your skating career, or are there other aspects of your friendship that come into play?
If we're not at the rink, I don't think we talk that much about skating, right? We talk just like life in general.
You're both at school, right?
Yeah.
Well, who's at school? Honestly, COVID's just thrown everything wacko. But you're both studying, is what I mean. What are the areas that you're studying? What would you like to sort of pursue once skating is all done 100 years from now?
I want to go to law school.
Okay.
And I'm pursuing business.
Wow. You know what? You may still team up down the road. Good business people always need a lawyer. I'm just saying, maybe she'll give you a discount. Yeah. Maybe. The best part about skating. So way back when you were little kids. So Christina, you said that you weren't that talented. I don't believe you, but that you were a hard worker. What was it about skating that you loved? I know for me, it's the people. I see the same people now as a way grown-up adult that I saw when I was a child. What are the aspects about skating that you guys absolutely love?
I think for me, it's training every day and competing probably, but I didn't realize like how much I needed skating, because during quarantine I was miserable. Like I was not good. And then we got back on the ice and everything is better now. Everything's good.
What about you, Anthony?
I definitely miss the competition aspect. That's one of my favorites, going out there and skating the best that we can, showing all the hard work that we put in every day, and just doing our programs. We love all the projects that we make.
When you guys have a bumpy day in competition, what do you say to each other? Have you had any sort of experiences that you can share with the younger skaters who are undoubtedly watching this? Are there ways of getting over it? What can you offer as far as some strategies for getting over the bumps?
Usually when we're upset, Igor tells us you have 30 minutes to be upset, and then you move on and you think about tomorrow. And tomorrow you get back out there and you show them what you got and just skate like you skate in practice. But we definitely have had bad skates, especially this season.
Do you know what? That is absolutely amazing advice for life. That's not just for skating. It's just, okay, I'm going to feel bad about this for a few moments, and then I'm going to move ahead. When you guys are competing, and I just want to bring up a couple of pictures that I absolutely love. What you don't know, audience, is that these two were discussing where this competition actually took place. So Anthony had one view and Christina had another. It doesn't matter where it was. The dress is to die for.
Yeah.
I'm all about the dress. So tell me a little bit about this, this outfit, this competition, regardless of where it was, and what you were thinking about in that moment.
I'm pretty sure that was Salt Lake. And at that point in the program, since we're in Salt Lake at altitude, we were very tired.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was our first showing of our flamenco program.
Yep.
And it's a very difficult number. So we during that picture, we were just trying to get through it. It was definitely special skating it the first time, and getting the feedback that we need to further progress that free dance.
Yeah.
The Challenger Series, the Salt Lake event, is in September, isn't it? Usually. Or yeah, I just have to review that in my mind. But one of the things that I love about you guys is that you are so versatile. I said that this should be up for a best dressed award if there ever was one. But tell me about your style. Are you guys involved in the design of your costumes? Who helps you with that? Because you just look beautiful on the ice.
Thank you. We work with Mathieu Caron in Montreal. Usually we kind of have a rough idea of what we want, and then we talk with him and we kind of come up with a design.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful. All right. I have to ask you guys a question. Anthony, it's primarily directed at you. Having spent quite a bit of time in Russia myself, I know my Russian friends are extremely superstitious.
Yeah.
And you actually mentioned in an interview that you're also superstitious. Can you tell me a little bit about what some of your superstitions are? Those that you're willing to share, that is.
Definitely the biggest superstition that I have is putting on my left skate first. My parents did that, and that just translated to me. They told me, like, you step on the ice with your left foot first. So I always put on my left skate on first. I always have one spot in competition. That's the spot that I choose for the rest of the event.
Yeah.
In
the dressing room?
In the locker room, where
Okay.
we warm up, that's those spots stay the same.
Unless we have a bad practice. This is so bad. Like, Igor does the same thing. He stands at the board on one side, and if the practice goes well, he'll stand there for the competition. If the practice goes bad, he'll go stand somewhere else.
And we have the same when we warm up and our competition did not go well. The next day for the free dance, we'll go warm up on the other side of the room.
It's a lot of stuff to keep track of, but you know what? I don't know very many skating types who aren't superstitious.
Yeah. I think we all are to a certain extent.
To tell you the truth, I was a left boot person first as well.
And it just a right boot person.
No, I put on the left boot first, but I tie the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's very novel. Are there things about superstitions that help you, do you think, or are they things that sort of hold you back a little bit, or it's just for fun?
I think it's mostly tradition. We've been doing it for so long that we want to continue doing it. We don't want to change up our routine, especially during competition. Mm-hmm. So we just.
I don't think it's for fun though, because we're both really
we're very superstitious.
Yeah.
The interesting part about competitions, and by the way, here is a great comment from Daphne. You know what, Daphne, we're all glad that people are back on the ice, that's for sure. So a question from Samantha. Do you guys know yet? I know lots of skaters are taking their time trying to figure out about programs. Some people are just getting their feet back under them. Have you come to any decisions yet? Are you still thinking about it? Where are you at?
I think we've all agreed that we're keeping the rhythm dance. We'll change some of the transitions and patterns just to make it very comfortable and a little new for the next season.
But for the free dance, we're waiting to see, because the season's kind of up in the air. So we're working on a new program, but we're not sure if we'll get to use it.
You know, it's a funny thing about the rhythm dance. I've talked to lots of skaters who like to have new choreography as a way to keep their brains engaged, because at a certain point, a program becomes stale. So when you start to, as you say, change transitions and sort of freshen it up a little bit, it can be to your advantage. Does that make sense to you guys? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easy towards the end of the season to not get bored with a program, but it becomes like routine to do it every day, and it loses the spark that you have when it's brand new and you're excited to do it.
And I think making a new free dance, you gain this vocabulary from new choreography, new moves.
The vocabulary, meaning like the movement, is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Just knowledge of movement, different transitions, moves, everything left and right, just expanding what we know in skating.
Do each of you have a favorite rhythm?
That's hard. I don't know. I kind of every year I'll say it's whatever we're skating to.
I loved tango in 2019.
Yeah,
that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's my favorite rhythm? Not polka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't not mad about that, but they scratched the polka idea.
I just had to roll my sorry polka lovers out there. It's just not the thing. But I like, give me a tango all day long. Any of those actually kind of cool Latin rhythms, I just love it. And who doesn't love a nice quick step?
Oh yeah. And swing. We loved this year's theme.
Yeah.
That is so much fun. If you could imagine yourselves planning out your skating career and having it go exactly as you wanted it to go, obviously the Olympics is of interest to you. Down the road, is it shows? Is it coaching? Tell me about your skating life for the next 10 years.
Well, I think we'll keep competing for a while. um, After skating, I don't know if I'd want to like start a school and coach. I don't know if that's something I want to do.
I
Well, if
think
you go to law school,
Yeah, so I'll be busy.
yes.
school for both of us is
Yeah.
definitely a number one.
Mhm.
Coaching skating, that's always a great source of income, lots of fun. So definitely, I think I will be coaching, but school is the number one for me.
Yes, me too.
You both were very intent on your education, as part of your skating. Tell me how you were able to balance that, and obviously being in university, how are you able to sort of fit it all in? They often say, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. And certainly going to school and competing at an elite level and training makes you very busy. So how do you balance that?
Well, when the deadline's approaching at school, that's when I do my best work. So yeah, that makes me work well.
And definitely learning time management. We train almost all day, and then when we come home, then we have a certain amount of time that we do for school.
Mm-hmm. That's the ideal plan. That's not usually how it goes. We usually get home, we're exhausted, and we watch Netflix.
It's very difficult to juggle school and skating.
It really is. And then you also want to have a life outside of that. I mean, you've got friends and you've got places to go, and hopefully again, people to see. So there's lots going on. How do you find yourselves? So you're training. Is it as full a routine as it once was? So give us a sense of what your training day is like. How long are you on the ice? Are you doing off ice stuff? What is your training situation like?
Well, right now we're training like 3.5 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'll probably go up a little more. We're still taking it slow because of my foot, but like we'll work our way up to 4 hours. And then
off ice, we're currently not doing anything.
All the gyms are still closed and they're not allowed to reopen for a while. So we're kind of doing our own thing with that. And then we can take online dance classes.
Yep.
Online? You mean like ballroom dance classes online?
Yep.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
We take ballet. The Broadway Dance Center does online classes, and I've taken a few of those. They're really fun. And we've taken Latin ballroom.
So kind of like Zoom kind of idea?
Yeah.
Wow. And then can you get feedback from a teacher if you're doing an online class?
Yes. They see you.
It's both ways.
It's definitely something to get used to, though.
Yeah.
Online. Yeah.
It's not the same, but.
So tell me a little bit about stamina. Were you able to keep up your stamina? I mean, Christina, obviously with, did you say broken leg or broken foot?
Broken foot.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But what about you, Anthony? Were you able to keep up your strength and your stamina during this, or did it just all fall by the wayside?
Well, during quarantine, I tried at least every day to run, jog, bike, everything like that. So I tried keeping my stamina. But we both felt it right when we get back on the ice and started doing little parts again. We were out of breath.
Yeah, our short dance is, I forgot how fast it was. So that's kind of difficult. But we're still like going through the programs, kind of walking in, just to keep in shape.
Definitely feeling a little bit of out of shape, especially we missed 3 months of skating. So.
Yeah, it's just run through wise. The rest feels fine.
So tell me, were your feet sore? Lots of people talk. I remember taking the summer off as a coach and coming back in the fall, and the little muscles in the bottom of my feet were just like killing me at first. Were your feet sore?
Yes.
One thing that a lot of skaters have been having problems with is lace bite. Coming back, wearing the old boots and lace bite, tendonitis. That's one big issue that we've experienced.
Not us, but the other people.
Yeah.
Well, it goes, I'll touch wood for you too. It goes without saying that you would. That's where those little makeup foam things, they help a lot. Can you guys talk to me about this moment? I love this picture.
Yeah, we won nationals. That was fun.
It was in San Jose, my hometown. So it was great being back there and winning nationals there.
It was also it was the day before your birthday. Like a nice birthday present.
And Christina, you and I have a birthday a day apart. I'm April 2nd.
Oh.
Yeah. I always get along with Aries. Always, always, always. So that was your junior title.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you started this partnership in 2014. You won the junior title in 2018?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
2018. So did you imagine, I mean, you've got all this attention on you. People love you in social media land. You've got tons of fans. Could you imagine that kind of, I mean, you've both skated with partners before, you've both had your fair share of attention before, but I think that this amount of attention is kind of special. Could you have imagined it and prepared for it?
I didn't really realize it. I still don't really realize that there's that much attention, but I don't think we were thinking about it in our early first years.
In 2014,
together.
we were so young, we were so new in junior that we never could have imagined in 2018, 2019 that we would be here.
Samantha's got another great question, and that is, in a perfect world, if you could plot out your future, how many Olympics would you like to go to?
Two. Yeah.
2? Okay. 2 is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It is such a cool experience that I hope you get to 2 at the very least. I hope for our sake, you get to more than 2 so we can enjoy your career for longer. That's the way I see it. Do you guys have any heroes as far as ice dance? Any people that whose careers you really admired? They don't have to be present. They can be past. And your parents don't count. So it has to be somebody else. I'll get you out of trouble already, okay?
Well, Tess and Scott, obviously, huge ones. Marilyn, Charlie, Kenneth, and Ben.
Mm-hmm. I think Marilyn and Charlie are definitely heroes of ours. They paved the way for American ice dance. They really showed how good Americans can be in ice dance, and they guided everyone who comes after them.
Yeah.
Do you know what? There have been some wonderful American ice dancers along the way. And one of the things that's great about Marilyn and Charlie is, again, they showed great range, not just ever, one type of program. They did so many amazing programs. I always loved their Bollywood short dance or original dance or whatever we called it back in the day, just because it showed tremendous emotional range. And one of the things about ice dance, I think, is the way that you can connect to the audience. So are you guys talking to during your programs to each other? Any cue words, any things that you like to say to each other?
Just breathe. Sometimes he stops.
During competition, it's definitely breathe. You got this.
Yeah.
Keep going. Very motivating. If we're in practice and we change a transition, she'll say the new arm or something like that, just to remind each other that we change the transition later in the program.
You are having those conversations. Yeah. So when was your last competition?
Nationals.
Yeah.
Now I thought it was nationals, but I just didn't want to say because it's not the first time I've been wrong. I want you to tell me about getting set up for the free dance. You're in that opening position or getting to that opening position. Please tell me, each of you, what was the last thing you said to each other?
I think you got this. That's usually what we say before we skate.
You say which?
You got this.
And you do. And you do. So we've established that you like the tango. We've established that I hate the polka. So we're all good that way. If you could imagine yourselves doing something other than skating, as far as a sport is concerned, what would that be?
I like gymnastics a lot. Did you ever? I never tried.
Okay.
I would probably break myself if I tried, but I could watch Simone Biles all day.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. What about you, Anthony?
I did gymnastics until I was 12 before moving to Michigan. So I think I would either gymnastics or tennis. I have a passion for tennis. It's a hobby of mine. I play with some people from the rink. So I would play tennis.
Do you like to watch tennis as well?
Yes, yeah. And
Tennis
hockey. I love hockey.
Honestly, hockey, tennis. I don't know anything about either one of those. Well, hockey's on the ice, so I should know a tiny little bit. And I worked on Battle of the Blades, so I should know a little bit more. But anyway, that's a story for a different day. You tell me about your lives outside. I read about I want to say, a hedgehog. Do you have a hedgehog, Anthony?
I did. Yep, I had a hedgehog. She passed away about 2 years ago.
I'm sorry.
Her name
How do you even get a hedgehog?
The hedgehog was a pet of another skater at the rink. She moved away and unfortunately could not take the hedgehog with her, so I adopted her.
You didn't steal her, did you? I mean, when we say adopted, do we mean I took her when they wasn't looking?
Yeah.
And Christina, okay, whose dog is it that we talked about at the beginning?
My dog, who's currently crying.
Garth is having a nap, my dog. So that's okay. Your dog is crying?
Yeah, because my mom put him out of the room, so now he's crying.
There he is. He can come and enjoy you. That's the coolest part about being skaters, is that you have real lives as well. So this coming season, you got to wait to see what kind of, hello puppy, so cute. You got to wait to see what the season's going to hold. Do you have in your planning a plan A if there's, let's say, Grand Prix events, a plan B if there isn't, a plan C if it's just nationals? Like, how are you trying to structure? Because what people don't necessarily realize is that elite athletes, you're working towards peaks to be ready for competition. Yeah. So how are you and your coaching team figuring out how to accommodate for that?
I think if we have a Grand Prix season, we'll definitely go with the new project in freedance that we've been working on. If it's just the second half of the season, we haven't decided on plan B yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll keep the
old one and save what we have now for next season.
And then what about if it's nationals? Is it hard to just keep everything together if you don't have much of a season going on? I mean, skaters are used to going from event to event to event. So what is the internal dialogue that you're having with yourselves to keep yourselves motivated?
Well, right now we're acting as if we're going to compete this fall. So we're getting ready for that. And then if that doesn't happen, then we'll adjust. But the main thing about competition is that you get feedback from judges each time, and that's how you progress. So we'll figure out a way to communicate with the judges and get their feedback.
I want to ask you about skating. Of course, is an extremely expensive sport, and anybody out here who's listening, what you may or may not know is that Christina and Anthony have a GoFundMe page. So if you feel like going to their GoFundMe page and contributing, that would be amazing, because that's one of the ways that we can help keep skaters on the ice. So I think that's outstanding. Did you guys make it up yourself, or did somebody do it for you?
I think my dad did it.
Dad, way to go.
We didn't do it.
But you know what? It's a perfect thing to do. I think it's excellent, because you've got fans out there, some of whom would probably want to support you, and if they can, and it just gives them a way to do it. So you guys out there in watching land, you can follow Anthony and Christina on social media. All the details are below on the scroll. I just want to congratulate you guys on getting back on the ice. Christina, no more running for you. Take the car. It's what I always say. Forget the running. It's overrated. And people can visit your website. They can connect with you on social media. And you guys have been just a treat. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Oh, are you kidding? Anytime. And this time, next time when I see you at the rink, we'll be old friends, and I won't feel nervous coming up to you and saying, okay, I'm the strange one you were talking to. You go, oh, yeah, she was harmless. Listen, everybody, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me on Facebook, because why? I need the validation. And you guys were terrific. Christina and Anthony, continued success, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.